Mama, you get it. Mama, you get it. Mama, you get it. Mama, South America, you get it. Mama. Hey, look, I'm dancing. Mama, yo quiero. Mama, yo quiero. Mama, yo quiero. Mama.
All right, welcome to the Bunsen Burner podcast. This is episode 42. And Dan, who's that Pokemon?
It's, I don't know, it's Geodude probably.
The best one.
Geodude.
Somehow its weakness is grass, though. Didn't get that.
Because it stains the rocks. You get grass stain on the rock.
Isn't rock weak to water?
Yeah, that too. And fighting.
Huh.
Because you could punch a rock. And then you could...
I mean, you could punch anything, really, but...
Yeah, but you're going to chip the rock with your bones. And then you're going to...
You definitely drank your milk.
And then you can... what do you call it? You can sink a rock. You can throw it in the water and it sinks.
And then paper types, well, they just cover them up.
No, you're thinking of rock, paper, scissors now here, son.
Yeah.
Different game, I think.
That's the joke.
Yeah. Don't tell me what's the joke.
Good old Pokemon.
Well, since we had a pretty eventful episode last week, we didn't get to really hear about what you did. Dan, that was pretty eventful, right?
It wasn't really that eventful. Like, one or two funny things were going on. But yeah, I mentioned
way to hook the audience. You did something interesting, didn't you? No.
Well, I just got to be honest with them. Yeah, so what happened last week? We had Jub on, and I didn't really have a chance to kind of get into anything. I mentioned that I was away for the weekend, and I mentioned to Jub what I did, how I sell car parts. I said we're like Sanford and Son, we're junk men. And I think from the Sanford and Son comparison,
Show took off.
Yeah, it just took off, and we were off from there. But Fred, you didn't know who Jub was or Radio Free Innsmouth before we did that show, right?
No. I know you'd mentioned them before, but I've never...
Yeah.
They're the ultimate.
Yeah, what did you think of that? The ultimate. Yeah, what did you think of that guy? Boy, howdy, he can talk, can he?
Yeah, but he's great at it, so... It was a good mix and a good mesh.
Well, yeah, we ended up talking about Home Alone and Daniel Stern. He goes, "Wait, this is a death metal podcast, right?" I'm like, yeah, we'll get to that.
No, I think like him and actually generally a lot of our guests have turned out pretty well. We've been lucky.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll get a shit guest.
That's me every week.
Paul's just the third wheel.
Poo Paul, is that your new nickname?
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, Paul.
Poop
Like
Paul.
Brew Paul, but Poo Paul?
Just P-U. Poop.
Poo Paul's Drag Race? You'll put on some of them stupid glasses and like shave your head?
Hey guys.
I don't even remember what that guy talks like. I don't know. Probably sounds like a
I
lady
kind
or
of
something.
decided that was the voice. I've never heard him before.
Hey guys. Well, that's like the voice death metal guy gave me when we were talking about when you mentioned that I hit you up because of the Sacramento abolishment hashtag on Instagram. He's like,
yeah.
"Hey, I like Acts of Advance too. Want to be friends?" And I'm like, "Okay, nice voice you give me there, dude. That's great." Yeah, very cool. Oh yeah. But anyways, so yeah, it would have been a couple weeks ago now that I was up north on a like business trip, kind of, which is basically like a 2-day car swap meet where, you set out your shit, and we didn't even put our stuff away. We just set it out and then like put tarps over it overnight. But so for 2 nights I had to sleep upright in the cab of a box truck, me in the passenger seat and then my dad in the driver's seat. And I really couldn't fucking sleep just because I was so uncomfortable. Like I couldn't get comfortable sleeping upright in a fucking car seat. But I guess my dad was like sleeping pretty good. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. But god damn it. Yeah, so I was up till like, I don't know, dude, like 3, 4 in the morning. I maybe got an hour and a half of sleep. But I remember when I was just about up, it was like 5 in the morning. And my dad's like, he woke up because I kept making noise. And he goes, see, I found the perfect way to sleep here. He goes, you got to kind of curl up like a sausage. And I'm like, oh, like a sausage. That's really good. And he goes, no, wait, like a cocktail shrimp. So even better. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
But he told,
sausages don't curl unless you burn them.
yeah, I suppose so. Or sometimes
Was
the
it-
bratwursts are like curled
yeah.
a little bit.
Was there no room in the back of the truck to lie down?
No,
Or was it
absolutely
full of
not.
Stuff. Yeah.
We're loaded up.
Lock and loaded.
Like even when we set out, even when we set out our shit, it was only like 1/3 of what we had loaded up in the box truck because we had picked up maybe a month before, but we just never got to that stuff because there's just so much shit here. Just fucking shit everywhere.
Could slept under the truck.
Second night, I was tired enough where I actually got decent sleep. But the first night when I was up at like 5, my dad's like, "Yeah, I heard you couldn't sleep." He's like, "I heard you moving and coughing and farting." I do remember farting and like I thought he was asleep, but I was doing it so quietly. I was like,
Well, it's not possible to go a whole night without farting. Like it doesn't happen.
"Yeah, I've been farting a lot lately. Maybe it's the beer. I don't know."
The fibers.
Yeah, there's this other dude that I don't know if I've ever told Paul about this guy. It's this dude named Robert, who is like a friend of my dad's, and he stayed right next to our spot with like some old guy that helps him out. And so this dude Robert, he's probably in his early 60s. He's a Mexican guy, and he I think he was involved in like gang activity or some shit when he was younger. And he he knows
Audible gasp.
yeah, he knows all his friends are black, all his girlfriends have been black, all his kids are black or half black, whatever. And he basically he talks like a black person. It's very funny. The way he talks to people, it's hilarious. My dad calls him the mayor because he like will talk to everybody like he knows them. And he always goes, "Hey, what's up, baby?" He calls everybody baby. He goes, "Hey, baby, what's up? Hey." And so my dad had to sneak me in because those guys didn't have tickets. And so I had to sit in the back of the truck like with a bunch of parts. So I'm like pretty much right at the door.
In.
Yes, getting smuggled in. You close the back door, and my feet are basically at the edge of where the door closes. And I'm waiting for a while, like he's driving and everything's bouncing around, shit's falling on my head. And yeah, we finally stop, and I hear, "Hey, Dave." Oh my god, it's fucking Robert.
We're here.
Yeah. And it's funny that guy's like his partner is this old man who I guess used to be a manager at a pick-a-part, where you like take car parts off of the old cars and you like take it to the register and they charge you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny. It's like this Mexican black guy and his partner is a old white man. He's probably about 80 something. And this guy, he doesn't really talk much. All he does is like get angry. And he goes, fuck it. And like he doesn't really it's so weird. Robert will ask him something. He'll go, "Hey, Larry, hey, where's that part I just gave you?" And Larry will look at him, he'll stare at him. He goes, "Larry, you hear me?" He goes, No. Say what? And it's but at some point we were making he was making breakfast or something, and Robert had a clean shirt on the table, and Larry I guess wiped his I saw this I was right there. Larry wipes his hands on one of Robert's clean shirts. He goes, "Hey, bitch, that's my clean shirt, Larry." For some reason, it's just so funny, like an old guy getting berated. So yeah, I got Larry and Robert, and yeah, I guess they were telling me about something I'd heard before about like a previous swap meet where Larry was he was packing up the shit, and the people behind them, I guess the wife of the dude had like a nice ass or something, and Larry was staring at her ass and he fucking fell out of the truck. And Robert told him he told the guy, he goes, "Hey, Larry's staring at your wife's ass, you fell out of the truck." All the black guys are standing there laughing. So yeah, that's
Hey,
Robert.
You're
Robert and
killing
Larry.
me,
Hey, hey, Larry, what's up, babe?
Larry. You're killing me, Larry.
I think Robert came up behind me at some point. He's like, hey, Dan, hey, Dad, don't tell your dad I asked you this. He's like, you smoke weed? I think he was trying to give me weed. I'm like, no, not really. I was like, maybe when I'm drunk or something. He goes, your pop don't want to hear that, man. Yeah, that's all that really happened. It was just a couple days with Robert and Larry and Dad, and made a little money. I made my goal
There you
of
go.
what I wanted. Oh, you know what else? What else happened that I totally forgot about? I think you guys might have seen the pictures of this. Did I? I think I told Paul. But on our way up there, did I talk about this in the last one? No, I couldn't have. Yeah, on our way up there, we got up at like 6 in the morning to like beat traffic or whatever, and we're an hour on the freeway, and one of the fucking tires like blows out. And I thought it was something that fell in the back of the truck, but I guess it was the tire that like fucking like just blew out. And my dad goes, no, fuck! And then he like turns and goes onto the shoulder, and right away he goes, oh, we're fucked. Yeah, so it's about 6:30 in the morning. We had to drop. The tire wasn't flat, but the tread had come off. Like all the tread had like busted off and fallen off. So we had to drive about 20 minutes down like some canyon to a tire shop where he got all the tires replaced. That was like $1,100. So it's like you, yeah, because they're all old. The day before we left, he got one of the tires replaced because he saw that it was like cracking. And then we get a tire blowout, and he goes, you know what? I might as well get they're all old. I might as well get all the tires fucking fixed. But I mean, it's something you need to do, you know, whether it's you make your money back a little bit, right?
Yeah, you don't have a choice anyways.
And then I forgot about this too. The first night that we're there, I went in the back to get like a snack or something, and the light in the fucking box part was on. I told my dad, I was like, hey, the light's on back there. I'm like, does it go off? He goes, oh yeah, it goes off by itself. And apparently it didn't, because he turned on the light and forgot that, because there's like two lights, one that goes on automatically and then one that you have to turn on. So the one that was on was the one you have to manually turn on. Yeah. And so the next day the battery was drained. And he's running around. Oh, he has me running around the swap meet looking for somebody that's selling starter fluid, like ether, and I can't find anything. And the reason he wants the starting fluid is to start the generator, to hook a battery up to the generator and then fucking start the car. And like apparently his fucking jumper cables were bent and didn't work, and he didn't know that. And so we had to have one of our other friends. You got to see this one guy. His name's John. He looks like an old man version of Vince. It's crazy. He's tall and white though. But he's got the glasses, and he's got a little beard. But he's also got like long scraggly hair. It's very strange.
Man, you guys literally rode till the fucking wheels fell off.
we rode an hour there, and then we met somebody at the Black Bear Diner, and we go and sit down, and we're looking at the menu, and the Black Bear Diner used to be good a long time ago. Remember, maybe just a few years ago. And we're looking at the menu, and there's no combos. Everything is separate, and everything is extremely expensive. It's like waffle, $15. Oh, you want 3 pieces of bacon? That'll be $10 more. It's like, how about a regular fucking breakfast? So we didn't even eat there. It was like some Mexican guy. Was our waiter. My dad's like, too expensive. He goes, no, it's expensive everywhere. No, it's good. And they don't even have fucking regular pancakes. They have something called sweet cream pancakes and sourdough waffles. It's like, what? And my dad was asking the guy, what is that? He goes, he's like, it's I don't know. It's just a pancake. He didn't know what it is.
Different kind of batter.
Yeah, there's something about that. I feel like, not just with my dad, but I feel like in the past, you sit down and you look at the menu, and you're just like, oh, I gotta get the fuck out of here. There's no, everything is like Too expensive and no combos.
Yeah, there's no
You get
reason.
you get one stupid thing.
Yeah, no reason to stay.
I think I got a coffee. That was about it. Yeah.
And then this weekend we went out.
Oh wow! You can tell them about you and Vince playing pool.
Oh yeah, so I guess we just went out with our friend Josh and Vince to play some pool, and yeah, I was just hyper focused trying to make some shots, and then Vince he plays pool like the way that I think like Hank Hill would, which is like he stands like very straight, like it's like a 90-degree angle with his body to the table. So it's it's like really like standing up basically hitting his shots, and then it's just like I don't know, he's pretty good. And yeah, we just ended up doing
I don't
that.
want to bend over too much. I don't want to expose my butt.
Yeah, and then Josh was like, so dude, like this, like people just have their fucking chins down to the table, and this fool's just fucking like that.
Up straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You saw me doing. I was like bending in all kinds of strange positions.
Yeah, me too. And,
Oh, but Vince is getting aggressive. Like the pool table's right next to the table where we're sitting, and I'm standing there with my beer, and Vince goes, "Move." So I'm in his shot, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while, so that was fun. Racked
Yeah, I
up
haven't been there in a
hell of
while. They
bill.
had that MILF waitress with the nice ass, and they had that other waitress. I think she got a bunch of plastic surgery. It looks like her butt got bigger and her boobs got bigger, and she has braces now for some reason.
Gotta get
Might
them
as well
fixed.
do an all over sort of thing, right?
Yeah, I guess just do the whole thing. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of opposed to the fake boob, fake butt. Just not into it.
Yeah.
Well, sure, but I mean, people are gonna do it anyways, right?
Yeah, sickos.
I mean, if you're gonna do the front, you might as well do it the back as well, so it balances out. You don't want to be
maybe.
tipping over.
Yeah, maybe. I know Trevor likes that weird. He likes that plastic surgery.
Does he?
Yeah, he likes that. That's so weird to me that guys like that.
What
It's
was
like,
that
what?
what's that called? The bimbo fetish?
Yeah, maybe the bimbification.
Oh man.
I don't know. It's kind of like guys going, "I like a dumb girl." It's like it's a little strange. It's like, in a way, it's a little strange if you know what I mean.
Control woman.
Beating women.
Nessa.
Nessa, where you at, dude? I don't. Fred, did we ever tell you about Jacob McBride or Straws, as some people call him?
I don't think so. I
No?
feel like I remember. I feel like I remember a name like Straws.
He was this like skater guy at our high school. He was older than us. What is he, like a year or two older than us? Something like that.
He was a skater boy.
He was a skater boy.
He said "See you later, boy."
He looked like a cholo. Well, he was a Mexican guy, long hair and a long goatee. Even in high school, he had a long goatee. And people used to call him Straws because he would carry around, or no, he would walk around with straws in his mouth, like fucking restaurant straws. And so he was Straws, I guess. And I remember me and a friend were.
Poor man's toothpick.
Yeah, exactly. me and a friend were behind him at the crosswalk, and we look at his back pocket, his Dickies shorts, and he had a big fat pile of straws, like in a bundle, and like unopened straws. And my friend, he turns to me, he like whispers, he goes, "Look at, there's the straws." and he turns around and he goes, "Who's talking about my straws?" And I think
Feels
I think
vaguely
like
threatening.
yeah, I think it was vague. I think he was trying to be a tough guy or something. I think that's the
straws.
I think that's the vibe he tries to put off. But it's
working.
funny. Like a few of our friends were with his sister. Like one of our friends was like his sister's boyfriend at one point, and then another friend was, and then there might have been like some other guys that were kind of like friends of a friends, and like everybody's like been with this chick. And so there's always this like joke of like Jacob McBride asking, "You fuck my sister?" and then what is it? Paul's like, "That's my job. I'm the only one who's gonna fuck my sister."
Yeah, then it gets dark.
Yeah, then it gets dark. I remember we were hanging out at a friend's house, and somebody showed up at the screen door doing that voice. He goes, "Which one of you fucked my sister?" And I swear the impression was so good that I thought it was the real guy, but it was one of our friends doing that.
I thought it was Josh.
Yeah, no, it was Josh who did it, but I thought it was Jacob when he did that voice because he's behind the screen door. Yeah, but I see that guy every once in a while at the liquor store. I'll see him, and he always like yells my name when he sees me, and there he goes, "Sup, Sales? How you doing, dude? How you doing, man?" And he also was on. Apparently, he was on an episode of Tosh.0. You know what that is, Fred?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he was on an episode of that. He was like skating on top of one of those like school bins that they have outside where they keep like, I don't know, fucking sports equipment and shit. He was on top of there. He like ollies off it and then he breaks his leg.
Not a fucking dime.
Yeah, and I remember seeing him at a party. I asked him, I was like, "Hey, did you ever get any money for that Tosh.0 thing?" He's like, "Not a fucking dime, dude."
Yeah, all the bands we have on here are like Jacob McBride. Not seen a dime.
Ain't seen a fucking dime, dude.
What the fuck?
I'm trying to remember. He
did
said
you
something.
do to my fucking sister, dude?
And then Kyle, I forgot Kyle
Yeah.
was what I think he was trying to get with her or something. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
He had her. Well, I'm gonna tell this anyways. I don't care what Kyle says. I guess Kyle was with this guy's sister. They were in a parking lot of like a park or something. And he puts the back seat down like to give it. She goes, what are you doing? And he goes, "Making room." And then I guess he asked her straight up. He goes, "Can I fondle you?" And I think I saw him later. You guys told me that, and I saw him. I met up with you guys at his house. He was like changing the oil in his car. I was like, "Hey, Kyle, can I fondle you?" And he goes, "Ha ha ha!" Oh god.
And that's like a word that's like supposed to be like read, not spoken.
Fondle.
Yeah.
It's like like fondle corpse.
Yeah, it's like like poetry.
Fondle corpse.
Supposed to read that in your mind.
God, there was something else that Jacob said to me, man. I can't remember what it was. I just had it in my head. What the fuck did Jacob ever say to you? Or me? Not a fucking down, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what he said to me. I saw him at the swap meet, the Cal High swap meet. There's like swap meets by
Yeah, the parking lot.
Yeah. And I was there just kind of shopping around, and he comes up to me and he's like, he's like, "Hey man, what's up?" And I was like, "Oh, what'd you get, dude?" He goes, "What the fuck did he say?" "Oh, he got like just here for some long ass socks, dude." And he like had a pack of like long cholo socks.
Yeah, he has like the dicky pants that go down to his ankle, and then socks that go up to his knees,
Yeah, long ass socks.
and then shirts that go down to his fucking his knees too.
He's
Crazy.
still around. He's still a neighborhood guy.
The third felon.
It's a legend of
Colorful,
Jacob
colorful
McBride.
characters down there.
Sometimes.
Yeah, Fred. Besides that, what'd you end up doing? You got 2 weeks to catch up.
Not a whole lot. I mean, it's been fairly quiet over here. I did get my interviews back, so I'm excited about that.
Oh yeah, shill that.
What interviews, Fred?
What
Yeah.
interviews are you speaking of?
The next issue of Metal Legion will have 2 interviews by me with the Verathron and Mortuary Drape.
And where can we get these issues, Fred?
MetalLegion.com.
MetalLegion.com. You heard it here, folks.
Digital and physical copies. So
Fred the Polymath, podcaster, writer, collector. What
A
don't
magician.
there are no other levels to me. That's about it.
you do? What don't you do, man?
A magician.
Think you meant to say fucking legend?
No, magician's good. I can put people to sleep over a podcast.
Yeah, Freddy fucking legend, man.
Well, it's funny. You You screwed up by saying episode. But you meant issue, but you said episode, but you actually said episode. You did the Canadian episode.
Episode.
This is episode 3.
This is episode 3.
Why, thank you.
But yeah, so no, we were waiting for the Verathron answered pretty quickly, but Mortuary Drape, I think it's been since November. We were waiting for the answers, but they came back. That's all that matters. So yeah.
All right, sounds cool. What
Yeah.
can we expect there? Did you ask anything unexpected?
Yeah, how do you go about these interviews?
No. Now we're interviewing you about an interview.
Yeah, it depends on the band, right? Like if it's a newer band, then there isn't as much history to dive into. So for Verathron, I didn't have any limitation to the number of questions, so I did a fair amount on the new album, which is fantastic, and also quite a few questions on the old scene and the older albums, and what other bands and like current things going on in the metal scene that he's interested in. For Mortuary Drape, that was a bit different. We had a limit of 10 questions. And since they just have, like, that's the thing with when you're doing an interview, there's questions you want to ask and questions you should ask. And it's, when you're limited in terms of numbers, like, you have to find a balance, because you can't not ask about the new album.
Yeah.
Because
Keeps it
and even though like
relevant.
I am like the new album is fantastic for Mortuary Drape as well, and I wanted to ask questions about that, I also wanted to ask a million questions about the old days, right? So for Mortuary Drape, that one's focused a bit more on the new album because I didn't have as much room to ask more questions about the past. But Verathron, there was no limitation, so that's a bit all over the place in a good way. So but in either case, like the answers they gave, I'm really happy with. They went to a fair level of detail. Mortuary Drape actually described the ritual that the new album Black Mirror is like about. So he actually gave step-by-step instructions on how to perform it.
Long answer, huh?
Longer. It was it's a fairly simple ritual by the sounds of it, but he described it in detail, which is pretty coal. You don't see that every day.
Who did you interview? Like which guy?
So Mortuary Drape, there's only one remaining original member, Wildest Perversion. So it was him and Verathron. Same deal, actually, only one remaining original member, and that's Stefan Necrobisius.
So he was on drums in the original stuff, and now he's on vocals here. Is that what it is?
Wildest Perversion?
Yes.
Yeah, he's only vocals at this point. He was on drums like way back, like
Yeah.
80s to like I think mid 90s or so.
Seems to
Yeah.
be the trend. All the drummers going just vocals.
Well, if you look
Yeah, I
at the
guess so.
drummer, if you look at the drummer now of Mortuary Drape, I'm looking at his other bands. He was in Spellblast. What do you
Oh.
think of that?
Nice. That's sick.
Guy knows what's
I
up.
remember
See,
I was-
Spellblast was good.
I was looking through the other members of Mortuary Drape, and like what always gets me, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but like it kind of like boggles my mind. Half of the members, or most of them, weren't, or actually are as old, if not younger, than Mortuary Drape itself. Which like
Yeah, you get guys who are kind of experienced and have been around, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it seems like a lot of older bands do. They kind of stick with guys who are their own age, as opposed to like
well, no,
Dripping, who
that's
has
the
a bunch
thing.
of
They
younger
didn't, right?
members.
Like the bassist of Mortuary Drape is born in '86. That's the same year Mortuary Drape started.
Oh damn.
Yeah, they get the youngins. They can keep up.
Yeah, I remember there was one. I think it was Morbid Saint. I don't know if it's the guy, whoever it was is still in the band now, but there was like one who wasn't even born when the first album came out. I'm like, it's not weird in theory because it doesn't take like you don't need someone of that age to be able to play those tracks, but it's always weird when someone joins a band and they weren't even born yet when the band started.
Yeah, then it gets to being like a cover band when you see them live anyway. It's kind of weird.
Kind of like I'll give him this. Like when I saw Morbid Saint live, this must have been like 2016 or 17. No original members except for Jay, obviously, and he's only on guitars. The vocalist looked like a hardcore deathcore kind of kid, right? And I say kid, he was in his 30s, but he like my first inclination was like, oh god, this is not gonna go well. But he nailed the vocal style for Morbid Saint perfectly. Like he killed it. So I don't think he's in the band anymore though. Have you guys heard the preview track for the new Morbid Saint?
No, no. Disappointed.
I'm skeptical. I'll leave it at that.
You have heard it though.
I heard one track. I don't know if they've released more. The album cover is like major cringe for me.
Yeah, but
Oh,
so just with the one track, you don't think you can make up your mind yet?
I'm gonna reserve judgment until I hear the whole thing, but that first track was not promising for me.
No, I'm kind of curious to what it sounds like. I mean, I can only imagine with the cover. You know, we've talked about that a million times.
I feel like it's kind of on the same track as the last Razor album, which was kind of cringy as well.
Yeah, I feel like that one's been like a build-up. We've been talking about a new Morbid Saint for a long time.
Yeah, well, it's been ages, right?
Yeah, maybe we'll feature that someday.
But you know which? I don't know if we spoke about this or not before, but you know which one turned out remarkably well? The new Hellwitch album.
The new Hellwitch album?
Yeah, came out like mid last year. The cover isn't great. I think it's the way they did the logo, but turned out pretty well. Like it sounds good.
I feel like I've seen a music video from this, but maybe I haven't because I feel like I've seen one of their newer music videos for a long time. It might be the one I'm talking about might be on the 2009 album. But I remember it being kind of I don't know, maybe a little bit lacking. It's so weird when it comes to like a newer or an old band doing a newer, updated, like shiny music video. It always comes off as like inauthentic for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why.
Yeah, I could see that. It looks like they're trying too hard.
Yeah, there was like another example that I was just thinking of. I don't know if it's like quite the same thing, but I was thinking of Cadaver from Norway doing what was that damn song, Paul? The Metal Skin.
Yeah. No,
What was it
I
called,
don't
Paul?
know. Like
the exposed metal skin or something. Decomposing metal skin, something like that.
I don't know. I haven't kept up with the new Cadaver. I just know the last album was called like Age of the Offended or something, and I'm like, oh god, it's like boomer shit. But
Is Paul
I don't
here?
know.
Or did
Paul?
he take off? No, he's
Paul?
gone.
Where'd Paul go?
I don't know.
Come back to us.
Anyways, let's see. I was because of Hope's interview with Yasuke. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Yeah. Because of her interview with him, I was looking through. God damn it! What was the name of that band? Oh, I was reading that interview, and at the end of it, Yasuke says that he's been listening to a band that he just like he's gonna release some of their stuff from Portugal, I believe. They're called Kaizol. That's Caizao. And they're actually pretty darn good. It's kind of they I think they compare themselves to like here. Let's actually take a look. I don't want to misread anything. Okay, you'll understand what they sound like from just hearing this like fucking little list here. It says mystical signs of the 90s Greek, Italian, Portuguese bands or South American. The Finnish or Eastern. It feels like there's a lot of influences coming out here. So you get like Master's Hammer, Barathrum, Beherit, Tormentor, Necromantia, Verathron, Psy, Mystifier, Sarcophago, Zemiel. And then you have things like 80s bands, Messiah, Obscurity, Treblinka.
Okay.
It says, Kauzo assumes itself as a southern band playing a tribute to the unwritten or forgotten history of Mediterranean and Atlantic cultures. It's more or less one of these like what do you call it? I think we called it like occult black metal. It's one of these kind of bands. But man, it's actually really fucking cool. The riffs are all really original, but you can tell exactly where it's coming from. It's cool stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it now. I think I've seen the cover floating around, but I haven't heard it.
Yeah,
All right. Well, if it's got the Dan stamp of approval, I'll give it a scope.
Oh yeah. I was looking through kind of going through this band again, and I went through and I saw the main or the only guy who's in this band, JG. It says he's the editor of Fall of the Idol zine. And so I checked out I checked out some of that, and I kind of just it's just some fucking fanzine. And if you ever see it on Facebook, it looks like straight up cut and paste like pieces of paper. So it's things like that. But I got a couple of like recommendations from like the bands that are interviewed in those. I didn't like get a copy, but I think they were selling the copy at Signal Rex. But from there I got let's see. Oh, Necrocock, who is somebody from
Master's Hammer.
Master's Hammer, that's right.
Yeah.
And Valenta, who is also who is the drummer for Master's Hammer. That he named his band after himself. And it's interesting because he has I didn't really have any idea what this would be. I didn't look at the what members he was or what bands he was part of. I just kind of heard this band and I'm like, oh, this is straight up Master's Hammer. And he has the Master's Hammer t-shirt on. And funny enough, the demo comes out in 91, so the same year as Ritual does.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Something I kind of recognized. I didn't realize that I knew it already. The band called EKG. I feel like Fred, you would probably know that if I know that.
Off the top of my head, no.
Oh no, it's another one of these like, well, it's like one of them occult bands, but way more probably chaotic and not great musician wise, which is still kind of cool.
Which is good.
Okay.
Yeah, which is still kind of cool.
Hey, there's Paul.
Hey, there he is. You left us.
Had to Waz.
Ah, yeah, that'll happen. And I think they interviewed a band called Black Virgin, who I was actually familiar with before. One of the guys from the Metal Mentors, the Instagram page, liked that band. I think he's got like a shitload of vinyl and things. Do you follow the guy Mars Venus? What the hell is it called? Mars Venus and Stars. Do you follow him on Instagram, Fred?
I don't know.
That's the guy from Obscene Liar, that new Doom band I've been shilling a little bit.
I don't
year.
think I do.
Father, husband, musician.
Yeah, that guy. I remember he really liked the name. He thought the name Black Virgin was a good band name.
I'll give him a follow.
Oh yeah, that guy's cool. That guy likes I don't think that guy's huge on like extreme metal, but I know for a fact we've talked about like Swedish melodic death metal. He's real big on that shit, like Ceremonial Oath and Sacrilege and fucking Dawn and In Flames and all that stuff.
What's the name again?
His name is Mars Venus and Stars. He mostly posts about like hard rock, heavy metal, like trad metal and stuff.
Let's see. Am I following him already? Let's find out. I'm not. I'll give him a follow too.
Yeah, eventually I want to have that guy on the show. He's got another page called Metal Mentors that was big back in the day. Well, when I say back in the day, I mean like
93.
maybe 2015 to like 2017. They were like one of the bigger. I think that was like one of the OG metal meme pages that was actually good. Because I mean, there's back then it seems like metal meme pages have blown up in a way now where the guys who run them actually know what's up. Before it was just guys posting about death and fucking Disturbed and like all kinds of lame shit. I don't know if you remember that, Fred, but there was like a drought in any kind of metal memery. It was just like total lame shit.
Yeah.
Now at least there's something. Now at least you have like death metal shit posting and fucking swamped in memes and whoever maybe Broadwin Metallica or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like the one he made with the Hessian firm. Said, if this is my book, and then he's all, this is the teacher.
This is the teacher. Yeah, it was the Brutal Spear album. If this was the book.
That was a good one.
If this was Nick's been killing it lately. He just did the Time Ghoul interview, which is pretty cool.
It was funny when I was listening to that. Like the guy seemed like so like reserved and at the very beginning, because Nick was like, "Oh, you released this demo, 91." He's like, "Yep." And then he started
getting funny at the end. He started opening up and like talking about Dungeons and Dragons and
yeah.
I think he said that song Gut Spawn was like a campaign that they did.
Yeah, I think pretty much all their shit was.
Yeah. Like
Oh.
personal D&D campaigns. That's what you write your songs about. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was listening to that guy's other band. I didn't
Revlar?
realize. Yeah, actually pretty great shit. Just like weird, obscure death metal. Kind of. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to say it. Let me see which one I listened to though. Yeah, wasn't that? That's probably the first one. Levitating phosphorus orbs.
I know I've heard that band because I follow the Time Ghoul page and I think he runs it. And he's been posting about Grevlar for years. And I know I've heard them, but it's been a while to the point where I don't exactly remember what it sounds like.
Well,
And
you
I
know
think
what?
he even said like the production wasn't like where he wanted it to be. And I remember thinking the same thing when I heard some of that stuff. I was thinking like, this production is kind of making the music suffer a little bit.
I actually listened to the latest album, Planetary Sufferance. And I didn't have any problems with the production, but I only listened to maybe like 2-3 songs today.
I might have heard like the first one. Yeah, I heard the first one from 2018. That like infrared eyeball sun
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, from what I heard from that last album, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and I guess he's still like listening to some newer death metal bands. He mentioned Nucleus.
Yeah, and Fabricant.
Yeah. I remember Nucleus from fucking what do you call it? I mentioned this last episode too with Jub. I heard that from a Dark Descent sampler, along with Ghoul Gotha.
Mm.
Where is Nucleus?
Yeah.
Is this them? Thrash Death? No, that's not them.
No, they're just straight death.
Oh yeah, here they are.
Entity is a cool album.
I remember them being pretty solid back when I heard them, maybe 2016.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard the 2016 album. I didn't hear the 2019 one though. Well, now they're on
That's cool.
Unspeakable Acts.
Which is Dark Descent anyways, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a sub-label.
Showing what I know. And that album cover kind of looks like the fucking the Vector, the latest or the last Vector album cover from some years ago.
I think if you put the two of them together, they like almost continue, but I don't think it's quite.
Well, I remember it being like a little bit tech, right?
The Nucleus album?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit.
Okay. All right. I had actually wrote this down. I don't know if I had told you this, Paul. Did I ever tell you, or did we ever talk about the time that I stayed over at a church retreat thing? Did I ever tell you guys that?
No.
With the Guitar
I don't think
Hero
so.
and the broom hockey?
No.
I'm sure I might have told you this before, Paul, like on our own time. But
Get the
let's
content.
let's get a little story time here, I guess. So I think this would be in, let's say, 2006. So I would have been
The corn years.
like I would have been in 6th or 7th grade whenever Guitar Hero 2 was out, and I was playing Guitar Hero 2 religiously. I think I had just beat no, it was Guitar Hero 3. I had just beaten Guitar Hero 3. And this is a sidetrack. I remember me and my next door neighbor were both Guitar Hero heads, all constantly battling, and sometimes he would win, sometimes I would win, and we were like serious about fucking winning. And I remember I think it was just me and him. We were in my room, we were playing Freebird, and I won by like a hair, and he just gets up and walks out and doesn't say anything. I beat Vince at Freebird.
So what would have happened if he won though?
I don't know. He probably would have been like, her, face. I don't know. He would have said something stupid.
Oh, okay.
Well, I told you about him. I told you about Vince, what he was doing like a couple times, and me and Trevor like we're looking for him. So like this dude's window is right outside like the front yard. And sometimes me and my friend would just like go knock on the window and be like, "Hey, come out here, dude." And one time we went to his window and his like blinds were open and he was looking at himself in the mirror, like scrunching his face into like the duck face thing, like over and over again. He's like, and he's like looking around and he's doing this to himself. We're like, what the fuck is this guy doing in there?
Yeah,
And
not,
then-
not quite kissy faces.
Yeah, they were like, it was like a full scrunch. The entire face was scrunched. And this other time, I was just telling Paul about this. me and some friends went out for this one dude's birthday. It was like his 21st birthday, and we went to Lucille's, the barbecue place, and it was like me and three other guys, and a big giant pile of food gets there, and one of my friends who I've talked about before, Miguel, that would have been the guy who deleted his brother's Guitar Hero account. Remember I told that one? They're dancing for you, Josh. Yeah, that guy. So all the food gets there, and he starts stuffing his face immediately. And he stops and he looks up at us. He goes, "What's wrong, brethren?" And then he goes back to stuffing his face. And then after that, we had plans to go to a strip club. And I think this is all of our first time going to a strip club. We're all about 20. We're all about 21 at the time. And Vince, my next door neighbor, he leaves, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be back," and he doesn't come back. And me and my friend, we go to the window and we're like, "Vince, are you coming? What the fuck? What are you doing?" And he has the light off, and he's like talking real quiet. He's like, "No, I'm not going. I'm staying here." And like we can't see him. We're just talking to like a figure in the dark. He didn't want to go to the strip club. I don't know what's going on. He just wanted to sit in the dark alone. But
The lights are out.
yeah, can't you see the lights are out, man? But anyways, yeah. So this church thing, right. In about 2006, 2007, whenever, whatever Guitar Hero thing, that same dude Miguel, he somehow got like an invitation to stay overnight at like a church with a bunch of guys. Like I guess this was like a fucking citywide thing or the community, whatever. So there's a bunch of dudes, like a bunch of young dudes, fucking hanging out at a church overnight. And so I bring my dad was like giving me shit because I wanted to bring Guitar Hero, and he goes, "No, you're not bringing it." He's like, "Just have fun without it." And I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm not doing that." So I snuck my guitar in like in a blanket. I like smuggled my Guitar Hero guitar in a blanket, and we went.
It's a pretty big controller.
Yeah, big controller, and we made friends with. It was me, Miguel, and Nathan who went. And we made friends with these two guys. One was named Wayne, and the other's name was Dwayne. So Wayne and Dwayne. And Wayne was like this gelatinous fat kid with freckles and glasses and like a really short haircut, and he just looked goofy. And then the other guy, Dwayne, was a homeschooled kid who was like a tall white guy with like a blonde, not like a Beatles haircut, but like even farther out, kind of like a mushroom haircut. So it was this like blonde kid with like this mushroom haircut, and he was cool. He was like actually a cool dude. Wayne was kind of a dork, but Dwayne. His name was Dwayne, but Miguel kept calling him Dwayne, Dwayne,
Dwayne.
So we're there. I set up the Guitar Hero thing, and I'm battling Wayne. This will be the fat kid with the glasses, and we are playing Through the Fire and Flames. Ooh, Dragon Force, the hardest song Guitar Hero ever produced. And we're that song gets intense, and there's a giant crowd, and I'm going, and Wayne's going, but he's kind of like doing the Josh Nichols twitch, like when he's doing the weather report in Drake and Josh. He's like doing that. He's and he's like playing guitar. He's doing it, and I fucking beat his ass. So I beat Wayne at Guitar Hero. And I think later that night, they had us doing all kinds of stuff. So we did that. I think that was like the first part where it's like, oh, get to know your bros. So we got to know our bros by playing Guitar Hero. And then they had us do dodgeball. And there was this kid who Miguel just kept calling Jufro. It was a blonde kid with like a fucking afro. And I remember we're sitting up in the bleachers, and Miguel throws the fucking... I think Miguel was like already getting heated with this guy. They were like already arguing and shit. So Miguel throws the dodgeball at his head, and it hits him straight in the head, and fucking he's laughing his head off. And I think the kid told the preacher right away. He's like, "See, I told you he was trouble." So Miguel was trouble.
Get to know your bros, and then later you get to know Big Bro God.
Yeah, you get to know Big Bro. You get to let him spank you. And then they had us do this like little circle prayer sermon thingy, and that kid with the Jufro, he said something about the preacher's wife, and like it made him really mad. he's like, oh well, he goes, oh yeah, you're something. I don't remember what he said. He said something about your wife, and he got mad and he got sent out. And so I remember too, we had to leave the hall to go to the bathroom, and my friend Miguel, like, I guess he went first, and then me and my other friend went, and we're looking for the bathroom, and you hear banging on the door outside of the church, and I look way down the hall, and it's my friend Miguel. He's banging on the front door with both hands like an ape. He locked himself out by accident, looking for the bathroom. So there was that, and then I think the last thing that they had us do was broom hockey, which is basically just like it's like you're on ice. So they took us to an ice rink. You're on ice, but you're playing with like not a hockey stick. It's like a broom with a little paddle on the end. It's very strange, and I think the kid with the Jufro, he took off his shirt, like trying to be a hard ass, and then some other kid, like one of his followers, one of his minions, took off his shirt, and my friend Nathan, who's not an aggressive guy, I think he like did this by accident, but he like fucking, you know, in hockey where you like fucking pound somebody against the wall. Poof, he did that and like smacked him in the eye with the broom. Oh, you know what happened too? That kid I was talking about, Wayne. I totally forgot about this. That kid Wayne with the glasses, right when we got there, he steps on the ice, slips, falls on his back, and he's out for the whole time.
Oh man.
Like, oh, fucking Wayne. And then they had us come back and watch some movie that was like, it was like a no, that would have been funny. I love VeggieTales, the pirates who don't do anything. I feel like I relate to that song. Yeah, we are the pirates who don't do anything. No, they had us watching some movie where it's like a lady goes on a blind date, and like her blind date is God. And it's like a guy, like some guy, and they're just talking. She goes, "Wait, how are you God?" He goes, "How am I not God?" And he's like, "I don't know." But I think everyone fell asleep during that movie, because by the end of it, I think it would have been around 5 a.m.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, it was an all night thing. And everyone's asleep in their chairs, like fucking laying down in the chairs. It was like set up, you know, like church chairs, so we're all sitting next to each other and shit. And they wake us up by blasting that Paramore song, and like a bunch of balloons come down. They turn on the lights, a bunch of balloons come down, and it's that Paramore song that's like the
hardest shit they can get.
Yeah, the hardest shit, and everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Yeah, that's what I can recall. I totally forgot about Wayne falling on the ice. That did happen too.
Not gonna have any more nights like that.
No more church nights as a kid. That was the only church night I had as a young teen or preteen, whatever, how old I was. Yeah, memories, good times. Now everyone's old and alcoholics.
Yep.
God, where did the time go?
Yeah.
Wonder how
Into the
Wayne and
past.
Dwayne are doing.
Yeah, I wonder how Wayne and Dwayne are doing. Maybe Wayne's a cripple. Maybe Dwayne's like a super
With
genius
God.
or something. He's with God. Wayne is with God now. He earned it that day that I beat him at Guitar Hero.
Killed him.
It's fucking redemption.
He slipped on an ice cube.
Yeah, like SpongeBob when he's running into the salty spittoon, he slips on an ice cube. He ran inside and slipped on an ice cube. Then they send him to Weenie Hut General.
Did you watch the new Curb that was out yesterday?
No, I didn't know when it was coming on. I'm gonna watch that after the show. That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna do.
that's what I'm gonna do too. I didn't get
I've
to watch it.
Never actually watched Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Bro.
No, we know. You got to start from the beginning, dude. It's funny. We even
So-
told Jubb, and
so I've
you know,
heard.
I don't think Jubb would. I had a feeling he wouldn't be into that show, but I know he likes Seinfeld, so I think there's something there. He should like that show.
It's
It
part
is
of-
funny. The
part
man
of-
likes comedy, so there you go.
It's part of the Bunsen burner canon.
Oh, totally. I mean, everybody kind of likes that show. It feels like that was a big joke. I remember there was like some meme where it's like average boyfriend. It's like takes you to his house to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm or something.
Yeah, and then only Robert doesn't like it.
No, Robert only likes strange like Adult Swim stuff, like Xavier, Renegade Angel.
Mm-hmm.
I just remembered something too. That fucking Xavier, Renegade Angel was the same guys who did Wonder Chosen too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Xavier Renegade Angel.
Life. There's I saw a clip today where it was like a kid in a wheelchair. He's like, I can't even remember what the fuck it was. He's like telling him to stand up or something. But there was one Xavier episode where like there was a bunch of like tornadoes, like sentient tornadoes, like little like whirlwind things.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Look, I have them plowing the fields." And he goes, "What do you call these wind monkeys?" He goes, "Wigaboos, wiggers." And there's like one of the tornadoes hanging from a noose. He goes, "I saw that wigger getting saucy with my mistress." Yeah, so there's all kinds of strange things like that. That's the one where they call him Chomsky Honk. And worst of all, Chomsky Honk. Oh, there goes my microphone again.
Yeah, last time it was
Extreme.
Yeah, it was catastrophic.
Well, I dropped it and it started rolling. It was like doing rolls. What?
Oh, Limp Bizkit.
I remember listening to that what was that song from Limp Bizkit? It's my way or the highway. I remember Miguel had a fucking mix CD that we had, like again at like a sleepover thing. We were all like staying in a tent, but we had a CD and that song we heard it probably like fucking 25 times. It was like that, and it was like Toxicity, and it was the white guy version of God, what's that fucking Eazy-E song? It was the boys in the hood. But it was that white guy version. Do you remember that?
Mm-mm.
The boys in the hood are always hard. Come talking that trash, then we'll pull your car. Never heard that, huh? Yeah, it was like an acoustic white guy version of Boys in the Hood. It was interesting. And I heard that before I heard the original one. I was like, this is a good song. Watching fucking Silent Hill, dude. That movie was scary.
Can't wait for the game, but I heard there was like a trailer that is mixed reviews right now, but I'll see what's
For the
going on.
game or movie?
Game.
Huh.
But it's just a remaster, unless they're like coming out with something new. But I only saw headlines of it, so.
Feels like everybody remembers the Silent Hill movie because of that triangle head guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great...
yeah.
Did you guys ever see that movie?
Head.
There's a great scene where the Pyramid Head lifts up the lady preacher and he rips off her clothes and then he grabs her like chest skin and rips her skin off. I remember like, oh! Pretty intense. Yeah, that guy was cool. I think my friend Robbie, who was a black guy, he called him the Mega KKK. Golly, I gotta pee. Go pee?
I need snacks.
Yeah, I was telling.
Should we take a pause?
Yeah, let's pause real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're back, and me and Fred are eating like fat kids, and Dan wishes.
No, I have shitty corn nuts right here.
I have really crunchy chips.
So you're saying
Like, the rest of the episodes we just 90% chewing.
yeah,
Paul goes,
this is our feast.
you were saying, and then you're like Fred crunching the bag.
Yeah, it's our feasting episode, mouths full.
Crunching on crunchy chips, yeah.
Yeah, I got
Corn
like
nuts.
A fried French toast from this place called Poppin' Yolk, and yes, it's okay. First French toast I had like this. But you were saying that you've been craving a buffet, huh?
Yeah, dude, it's been a long time since I've been to Hometown Buffet, or like, I think one of the last times that I went to one of them, like, I think it was a Japanese buffet. I think one of the last times I went there was with my dad and my grandpa, but he passed away this past year. But yeah, I think that was like one of the last times that I ever went to one of them fucking Chinese buffets. I love those places. I feel like I don't get to go very often, and nobody wants to go.
Fuck it, let's go next time.
Well, I just want to eat, you know, like when me and Julian and Josh went to and Vince too, when we went to Yoshiharu, it's like you're feasting like a king. You have a beer, you can sit for a while. It's nice. That's like the thing that I want to do. People are like, what do we do? There's nothing to do. Let's go eat and drink. That's what I want to do. It's straight up what I want to do all the time. And it's so weird. Robert like doesn't want to eat, but he's like a fat guy. It's like, what kind of fat guy are you, dude?
He eats cheap, I think.
Nah, I fucking eat cheap. So, how?
You gotta go to the fucking happy hour deals, man.
Maybe he's fat because he drinks and eats at like 12 p.m. or like 12 a.m. I guess, because he gets off work at 11. Yeah, he was trying to give us shit the other night. He's like, "Oh, Dan, your schedule's." He wants to jam with his like stoner rock project, and he's like, "Oh, your schedule's all weird." And Paul's like, "Nah, yours." It's like, dude, I get off at 5. He gets off at 11. Whose schedule is weird?
Yeah, I was like, I get off at like fucking 3:30, and it's like, yeah, out of the three of us, you have the odd schedule, man.
How is 11 p.m. How is that not weird? That's like totally fucked. It's like inconvenient for everything.
Wasn't that like how Anthony was too? Like when you guys were jamming or something, it was like at 10.
No,
or...
we were trying to jam. He was trying to. I wanted him to do the Droom project back when that came out, and it just didn't work out because he was always busy. And it's just like, you know, I can't deal with people who are always busy, because then I just get annoyed and just over it.
Yeah, it's like you want it to come out so quick, and then it's like you can't do that if they can't commit to like a week, at least once a week.
Yeah, if you can't do once a week, then I'm afraid we're done for. I know a lot of bands don't work like that, but it's just the way my ADHD brain works. Where like I need it now. I'm very impatient.
Yeah, especially with that project,
Yeah, that's
it
fair.
was like all written, and you just need the drums, and then
Yeah, I had everything written out already. I just needed a drummer, and then Paul stepped up, as one does, as one Paul does,
per usual,
as per usual.
per usual. But
We were just talking about that Eazy-E song for a second, and I just remembered. Fred, do you know that song? Fucking Boys in the Hood, because the boys in the hood are always hard. I'm talking
I
that
feel like I
trash.
probably recognize it if I heard it, but no.
There's a part in the song where he says, "Don't quote me, boy. I ain't said shit." But when they play it on the radio, it goes, "Don't quote me, boy. I ain't said nothing yet."
like, that's a clean version.
It's not the same dynamic, is it?
You guys have seen The Big Lebowski, right? With Jeff Bridges, John Goodman.
Yeah.
Ages ago, but yeah.
Oh, really? There's a part where John Goodman is he's destroying what he thinks is some kid's car that he thinks like fucked them over or something, and he has like a crowbar in his hand. And he's like about to smash the window. He goes, "See what happens, Larry? You see what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass?" And if you watch that on TV, the censored version, he goes, "You see what happens, Larry? See what happens when you meet a stranger in the Alps?" What?
Wow.
What? There was another good one from Leprechaun. I remember Miguel liked this. The Leprechaun, he says, "What's up?" in the movie, but in the TV version, he goes, "What's up, ninjas?"
Oh yeah.
What's up? That might be Leprechaun 3, I think. I never really liked those movies very much. I always, even as a kid, I thought they were very stupid.
I think for censored, one of my favorites is, I forget if it was Showgirls or Striptease.
Oh my God!
The one with Demi Moore.
Yeah,
where they just
that
like
skinny chick.
edit on bras onto the strippers, and you're like, this isn't making any sense.
Yeah, most of the movie, they're topless. Dude, I saw that movie. I don't know why I saw it. I just remember seeing it like when nobody was home. I watched Showgirls, and I remember thinking to myself, God, that main chick, is that the one you were talking about? The skinny one with like the curly blonde hair?
I mean, probably. I forget which one, if not both. I had that, but they just edited bras onto the strippers, so they take their clothes off, and then there's more bras underneath.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, dude, the main chick from this was from that show Saved by the Bell. Yeah, it is her. Yeah, she was Saved by the Bell. She played such a dumb bitch in that movie. I remember thinking like, God, I hate her so much. But I think that's what makes maybe possibly that makes someone a good actor or actress, when you hate their character. They're playing it so good that you hate them.
I forget if she was supposed to be likable or not in that movie.
No, I hated her.
Yeah, well, yeah, fair. But was she supposed to be hateable?
I don't know. Showgirls. She look at her on the movie poster. She looks hateable. Yeah. Oh God. Showgirls. Saved by the Bell. Baywatch. and Donnie
Oh, yeah.
Darko.
Elizabeth Berkley, that's the one that was not the best career choice.
What, Showgirls?
Yeah, I remember I remember when that came out, it was supposed to be the movie that like broke her through past Saved by the Bell, and nope, it was kind of just a dead end.
Yeah, everybody hated her.
Yeah.
She played a horrible part. I feel like somebody. Oh, did you guys ever see that fucking that John Voight, Dustin Hoffman movie? What was that called? The Midnight Cowboy. Have you guys ever seen that?
No.
Well, watch it. Dustin Hoffman plays a guy named Ratso Rizzo, and he's just like a total New York scumbag. And he's like a gigolo for a male hook prostitute who dresses like a cowboy. I think this is like 1979 or something. It's actually very funny. It's worth a watch. Trevor wanted me to watch it. So yeah, it's pretty funny.
All right.
I think. Well, Fred, you might remember John Voight. Remember George when he bought John Voight's car, driving around
Yes.
in John Voight's
Yep.
car. Yeah, that was John Voight, and then John Voight was also in Deliverance. You guys saw that movie, right?
Kurkin. Yeah, of course. Classic.
Yeah, where the fat guy gets raped, and he's like squealing like a piggy.
That's the one.
Yeah. I feel like that was always in pop culture, and then you finally see it, and as a movie, that was a pretty cool movie. And then you have that kid playing the banjo, doing the fucking ding dong ding dong ding dong ding.
I feel like that movie's reputation is a bit bigger than the movie itself, though. Because I remember, like, first time I saw it, I was a bit underwhelmed. I appreciate it more now, but I was expecting more from it when I first saw it, and it had been built up so much that I was like, well, that's it. All right.
Felt to me like it was one of those movies that's like considered a classic, and it kind of lives up to its name. For me, that's what it felt like. And even to this day, I have never seen any of the Godfather movies. I know that's like, oh, you never seen the Godfather? Nope, never seen the goddamn
Yeah, I haven't seen
Godfather.
that either.
I know Duvall is in it. What's his name? Robert Duvall. What were you gonna say there, Fred?
I've seen them, like, overall, I've seen them all, but it's always like I caught bits of it on TV, and like those bits accumulated are the entire movie.
Yeah, the only
But
scene.
I've never like sat front to
Oh,
back.
yeah,
with
yeah.
The Godfather.
Same here. The only scene I know is where that guy wakes up and his horse's head is decapitated next to him in the bed. That's like the only
yeah.
part that I've ever seen, or the only part that I fucking retained.
Yeah, I mean
I-
it's an iconic scene no matter what, right? So
Yeah, I don't know if One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was like a big build up for me, but I did like it a lot, and I watched it a million times.
yeah, it's not my favorite either.
It's not your favorite? Oh man, it's funny. There's a lot of good dialogue in there.
Yeah, I mean I don't hate it, but it's I wouldn't like rank it in my top 10 or anything.
What's in your top 10? Just give me one.
Just any kind of movie.
Yeah.
Not Blade Runner.
No, well, that is my favorite movie, so it's gonna wind up there. What else? The 1970s version of Nosferatu. Big fan of that.
That's not the one with Klaus Kinski, is it?
It is.
Yeah, that guy's insane. Yeah, I think we might have gotten into what's that director's name?
Werner
Fucking
Herzog.
yeah, Werner Herzog.
Yep.
Klaus Kinski is really cool in the Aguirre, Wrath of God movie, and also Fitzcarraldo. Those are
Oh yeah, I remember that.
those are terrific. Yeah, the one where he's trying to get the boat up the mountain. That's awesome.
Aliens usually ranks pretty high for me. The second one, obviously.
Better than Alien, the original.
Yeah, I like it better than the first. I find the cast is just a bit better put together.
There's a scene in you remember that show Married with Children, right?
Yep.
There's a scene where the No Ma'am group is like having a meeting or something, and they're like, all right, they're saying, all right, who's actress, who's got the best butt? And the black dude goes, Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver. Did you see her butt in Alien? It's like a cereal box ass. Speaking of legendary asses, this is something I haven't brought. This will maybe be my last point. We'll have to move on. But there was speaking of legendary asses, there was this girl who my friend was who was like going out with. My same guy, Miguel. This is the same guy who's banging on the church door. This is the same guy who tormented his brother with Guitar Hero. Same guy who's stuffing his face with Lucille's. Same guy. So he's dating this girl, and she's not great looking. She's I don't even know how to describe. Let's say a little dumpy. There you go. That's the perfect word to describe her. A little dumpy. She's got glasses. She's short. She's like light-skinned Mexican, and so we're hanging out in my friend's backyard, and this white guy that we hang out with, he somehow it comes up that he has a tattoo of the fucking Sublime Sun on his chest. And the girl goes, "Oh, you have that tattoo? I have that tattoo. It's on my ass." And she bends over and like pulls up her dress. She's got no panties on, and she shows us her ass. And it is like the only okay. So this is what happens when she shows her ass. Everyone goes quiet. Everyone looks at each other like, "Oh, this is not good." And it kind of looked like Chris Farley's ass in Tommy Boy when he's like standing in the hallway with his underwear on.
Oh man.
Yeah, me and Trevor always call it the Chris Farley ass. And I remember my friend Julian. He's like a Native American guy. We go to Burger King. We leave, and he's telling me, he's like, "Oh man, that really shook me up, dude. That was traumatizing. I'm like, that's fucking horrible." That girl's ass really like it shook him to the core. It looked off. Oh, and you know what she said too? She goes, that's not the usual response I get when I show guys my ass." I was like, "Really? Are you kidding me?"
How bad was the tattoo? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. The ass was so goddamn alarming. It was like, oh, it was like seeing a fucking specter or something.
Oh.
Well, I want to see. Look up Chris Farley ass. Let's see if we can find it here. No, there's no picture of his ass. There's a scene where he's like in his underwear and Tommy Boy. It looked like that. He goes, "Oh, Richard, I'm so happy." And Richard goes, "Yikes." Don't run away from your feelings. Yeah, but that's that. Okay. Shall we, Paul?
Show.
Okay.
Paul,
Roll it!
Why are we here? Why have you brought us?
Summoned us from the grave.
It's been another rotation. We're at the top.
Rotation?
And,
Isn't that usually used for a year?
No, that's seasons.
Our rotation goes a month.
Yeah.
Our monthly cycle, if you will.
So now it's my turn.
That's right.
And
Buster.
I was doing a little reflecting, and I see that black metal has been neglected for myself.
Definitely. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we're
I'm gonna
disappointed
change.
in
I'm
you.
gonna change that.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing the black metal block. Except for Fred. Fred has to pick other than black metal.
Well, no. Fred can pick whatever the hell he wants.
Damn right.
We're gonna do whatever the hell we want. Hey?
I'm doing polka.
Let the sin begin.
But yeah, so I picked an album that I listening to a lot of like Total Vernichtung and just like Franco-Finnish black metal. I was just looking for a lot of bands in that style, and then when you find one that's from Japan, that's where your ears sort of perk up. And yeah, this band is Hakuja with their demo from 2007, Legacy. Where's this out on Drakkar and what was the other one, Fred?
Aprisha Recordings. It's the Drakkar sublabel. Yeah.
I think they put them out first, and yeah, it's a one-man project. Guy does vocals, guitar, bass, and drum programming on here. And yeah, it's just there's like weird songs on this. It's like somewhere like in that style, the Franco-Finnish, like up to the speed, a lot of melody going on, and then he like slows it down in sections, and it gets like really melancholic. Whereas like the Franco-Finnish stuff is more of like a life-affirming sort of genre, like, hey, we're Finnish and it's awesome. And then like this, like, I don't know, it gives me like sad vampire vibes with this this record, but it's like with those guitar leads from like Franco-Finnish shit.
The guys from Terminus, I believe it was the death metal guy, had a really great kind of way of describing music like this or riffs that happen on this demo. He said like that's the vampire fainting on a couch riff. Like, oh. Yeah, something like that, exactly.
Yeah, and like right out of the gate, this album just like comes out with 2 bangers, and then we come to Fred's pick. Should we get into that one?
Oh, what, mine?
Yeah,
Don't start with mine.
I think we should go in. What's it called? Chronological order from the album or the demo.
Is mine the first one in that order?
Mm-hmm.
That's a terrible idea. It's a terrible place to start.
All right. Well, let's go with the Black Desire, my pick, which is the next song, not the instrumental. So we'll be right back. Alright, well, we're back from listening to, what was it, Black Desire?
That sucked.
Alright, that's it.
Just end the show.
But yeah, this is one of the probably the most depressive like DSBM style songs on this track. You can hear, especially with the vocals, and then in the beginning part of this song, it just has 1-2 riff, it'll go into like the slower kind of like dun 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 dun, and then they'll pick it up with the melodic riff.
It's kind of
right
waltzy.
Yeah, I love that part because you just hear like the keyboard over it. It's like honestly some like really beautiful ass shit going on.
Really beautiful ass shit, man. Very elegant way to put it.
Beautiful desire, not black. And yeah, and then it just has this. It does that a couple times. I think like two or three times in between that, and then it over the tremolo riffing, it's like the bass is just like walking around doing its own melodic leads as well. On like this, on the third and fourth count of those riffs, because at the beginning he's just following along, but then he's like, I can do whatever I want, and he does. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
And then then it just has like this weird transition where it's like you don't expect it to go where it's gonna go right after. It's like dun dun dun, and then it goes into another tremolo melodic Franco.
Goes into a really high one that time.
Yeah. Do you see what I kind of mean? Like it's not so much like as high as like Tonal Vernichtung and
no,
Chester, but it's like
I don't think that existed until fucking that guy did it.
I think it was around this time he was coming out with those with
the demos.
Some demos, yeah. But
I don't think he was doing it at that time though. I think he might have done that a little bit later.
But yeah, like I was just from listening to that stuff, I was just in love with this music, this genre. And this is what I found, and I think I got a record from our local record shop, and I think that's how I found out about it.
That must have been a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was like the Drakkar. Oh no.
Did you get it from Dark Realm?
No, I got it from Lovell's.
Oh, from Lovell's?
Yeah, I got the vinyl.
Damn, they don't even sell fucking metal anymore.
Oh, they don't?
No, I went in there. They're like, oh, we don't really have metal anymore. I remember back in the day, yeah, you could get metal stuff there. Now, they don't even bother with it. I guess it wasn't selling.
Well, I just don't even think they knew what it was because it was like, oh, like, how they have a section that's like, oh, new LPs. It's like not even like...
Yeah, there was never a metal section. You kind of had to look through everything to find stuff.
Yeah.
I hate
remember.
that.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Or if they do have a metal section, it's like so fucking small, and there's like other shit everywhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Lovell still has metal stuff. The past few times that I've been in there, I go in there maybe once every 3 years.
Yeah.
But every time I go in there, there's nothing.
Yeah,
but,
it's disappointing.
Back when we were going there looking for stuff, I remember they had all kinds of good shit. They used to have. I remember I got the Thou record there. Not saying that Thou is a terrific band. I got the fucking dude. I got the Thor's Hammer album there. That the Death Doom band.
Yeah.
That's where I got that. They did have stuff. I got fucking Riot Thundersteel there. I think I got Show No Mercy there. Like they had stuff at the time. Now I don't think they do. Yeah, I think we got everything.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Because we were talking during the track, and I was like, when I initially showed you this, I was like, I didn't know if you guys would fucking like this release.
No, I liked it when you showed it to me way back when. I think it seems like this style of black metal, the kind of the Finnish style, like Satanic War Master and Horna, is like originally what I remember it being. Back when this came out in 2007, this was already probably a few years before I would be getting into stuff like this. I think I probably got into stuff like this in probably like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I remember even thinking back then, like, because I had already heard a bunch of black metal, and to me, the kind of upbeat and like heroic sounding type of black metal was new to me, and I always thought it was like really original and cool sounding, and then it seemed like all of a sudden in like, let's say 2014. 2013. Yeah, everyone had the same taste in black metal, and everybody was into the Finnish kind of like heroic, uplifting sound, like Nat Fogg, who I later discovered, and Total Vernick Tongue and things like that. But yeah, at the time, this really wasn't it wasn't that popular, at least as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just to touch on the second track that we didn't listen to, I think it was mostly an instrumental track.
No,
if
that
I'm not
was the. Oh, you mean mostly? Yeah.
Yeah, it was mostly an instrumental track. It reminded me of kind of a black metal classic. I think this is a classic, Fred. If it's not, fucking hit me.
I will.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me, like, the way it kind of moves and sways, and the fact that it's an instrumental too. It reminded me of the band Balmung,
Oh yeah, yeah.
who had the split in 1999. Fred, you know who Balmung is, right?
The German band, right?
Yeah. No. They're from the States.
Oh, okay.
They're from the States. They had a split with a band called, like, Gallerhorn or something.
I don't think I know them.
Fred, did you know them or no? Oh, really? You don't know who Balmung is? I thought they were classics in the American black metal kind of spectrum.
Gallarhorn I know, but not Balmung.
Oh man, now that's like one of my favorites.
Yeah, I think Balmung only had one release. They had the one. It was a split in 1999, and then later, I'm not
With
sure what year.
Eisengruppen.
Yes, they did the exact same release with Eisensgruppen, who is now blowing up as kind of this is kind of strange. I was talking to Paul about this. The guy from Eisensgruppen is now doing a band called Compatriot, and I remember mentioning this on an earlier episode. I think I mentioned this in maybe episode 13 or something, the Lullaby episode. I talked about Compatriot, and it seems like people are really hating Compatriot because they're not just taking a right-wing, like, patriotic lyrical theme sort of thing, but they're also doing like a Christian lyrical theme, like a for glory of God kind
What
of
do they call
for
that?
country and glory.
Unblack,
Well, sometimes they call it unblack, sometimes they call it
white metal.
white metal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like that shit is getting a lot of hate right now. I know even Hope was talking some shit on Instagram. She's not a fan of I guess the Christian black metal idea or something. But it's strange. It's like the guy from Eisensgruppen, and he has lyrical themes going from like racism to Satanism to Christianity.
All the
And it's funny. It's like this is the thing that's gonna like isolate people, is the Christian thing. It's like, really? It's like, how, which one is he? Is he a Christian? Is he a racist? Is he a Satanist? I mean, for sure, you can't be a fucking Satanist and a Christian at the same time. And then also with fucking, like, Usurper and Eisensgruppen, he's also like a pagan. It's like, can a guy just not have... I think even fucking J-Dog talks about this. Can a band not just have lyrical themes without being personally attached to it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like like all this fantasy shit that like, what's it called?
Like Time Ghouls do.
Yeah, it's like you think they believe in this like this fucking D&D shit going on.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to bands and like people you'll never meet, it's like, does it really matter?
Yeah.
Does it really matter what they believe? You're not gonna meet these people. They're putting out music. It's either you like it or you don't. But people are not liking the music because of
the themes and,
whether or not this person believes in God or is. I don't even think he was in trouble for being a racist. I think it's because he's a Christian or something, or he's talking about Christianity in his lyrics, is what it is.
There are some smoking Christian black metal bands though, or Christian metal bands in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I have nothing against that, dude. I don't really even have anything against any bands for like their political leanings. I mean, take like Napalm Death. They're like kind of stupidly leftist, but I still like Napalm Death. And I'm sure there's plenty of other grindcore bands that I like that are not totally aligning with what I believe. But I don't give a shit. It's like, if the music is cool, cool. I know not everybody thinks that way, but yeah, I personally don't care what a band believes. If the music is great, then that's where I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, we're different, dude.
And a Horde album smokes.
I wouldn't even say that we're different. I'm just kind of expressing that,
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not trying to say, hey, I'm different than you. It's just what it is. It just is what it is. It is what it fucking is, right, Paul? As Mac would get angry over.
That just struck me
Shout
as
out,
like
Mac.
something Butthead would say. It is what it is, Beavis.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Fred, you've been kind of quiet. It's black metal. What's going on?
That
I
fucked
just thought-
more than anything that I've ever thucked before.
More or less what I thought. No, I like this. I'd heard this to some degree when it came out. I don't agree with Dan that this sounds Finnish. To me, this sounds quintessentially French. The
right.
guitar tone is a dead ringer for Darvulia, especially the second album, L'Alliance Divina.
I don't know that I know that one.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe I do. The name is strange. Maybe I've seen it before.
That's what we get for giving him shit about Balmung.
Yeah, oh yeah. We didn't. Yeah, you didn't know who Balmung was. I don't know who, whatever the hell he just said.
and I think it's like absolutely no surprise that he signed with Noctu's Apparitia Recordings to reissue this, because it is right on track with the style that his other bands, Celestia, Mortifera, were doing around that time, if not a bit before. And also kind of reminds me a bit of like very early Alcest, when before he went not black metal. Yeah, kind of like that waltzing sort of, almost like gothic riffing kind of
Yeah.
deal. And but there is a Finnish band that I did remind me of, and we chatted about these guys briefly over the course of the last week. The pre-Bloodhammer band Maleficia, especially with the vocals, kind of remind me of that a bit. Other bands I wrote down that this made me think of, Swedish Hypothermia, kind of have that DSBM vibe a bit.
Yeah. There you go. The DSPM hyper. I do remember
Yeah.
them.
They're a bit more monotonous than Hakuja are. I mean, when you have fucking 30-minute long songs, it's for DSBM, it's going to get a little repetitive. But and there's a British band that only released a demo. But Paul, if you like this, I think you'll probably enjoy it. It's a band called Seclusion, and they just released one demo, and it's kind of this like waltzy sort of, almost relaxing kind of
Dark Woods.
black metal. Yeah. So is that what the demo's called? I don't even remember.
No, but the picture is like some Dark Woods.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look who it's modified by. The Metal
Someone had to-
Lord himself.
Someone had to correct it.
Metal Lord.
But yeah, no, that's it's a cool demo. I like the vocals on this.
Yeah, they're spare. Like they're not like over the top. It's like, I don't know what is the main focus, like the bass on this shit. Like what are you supposed
I
to
don't know.
listen to?
The
It's
main
obviously not
focus is the
drums.
bass and the guitar. The guitar works as a
Yeah,
rhythm, and the
the
bass
guitar.
works as a lead.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
I think
And the vocals and drums are kind of just backing
Yeah.
next to that.
because yeah,
I think if you hear the Darvuli album I was mentioning, the second one, the guitar tone really has this like old, almost sounds like it's falling apart, creaking house sort of sound, and I really like that tone for the guitars.
Yeah, and the bass like seems like it just has like a dry, like no distortion on it, and it just like peaks out and like everywhere. It's like over the tremolo riffs, you can hear that, beefing up, and then you can hear when it goes away and does its own little lines with it. And it's cool that the rhythm guitar is just also a tremolo riff instead of like some chords like dun, dun. Like it's actually doing some like polyphony.
The vocals remind me also of Nej from Alcest, and that one album from Mortifera that he did vocals on for the whole album. It's something like Vastia Tenebr Mortifera, something bizarre like that. Anyways, kind of like shrieked, but not angry, if that makes sense.
Just kidding.
Yeah, Paul just keep going. Yeah.
No, I said
Paul,
Oh. Oh,
He's like, what? What
Huh?
is this guy? What is Fred talking about?
Or do like the classic Mexican at the drive-thru. They go, "What happened? What happened?" It's like in that fucking Beelzebub movie where like the neighbor comes over and she's like taking oranges from his tree. He goes, "Look." He's like, "Just ask next time you want to take the oranges." She goes, "What happened?" He goes, "What happened? I just spoke. That's what happened." Whoops. Splash my beer on the desk a little.
Damn it.
Okay. Yeah, so Paul, I was saying that this kind of reminded me of Balmung a little bit. On the second track, which we didn't listen to, it's got like this mid-pace stomping. It's almost a Viking metal thing, but it's so weird that comes out in '99. It almost I don't know. It feels like it's predating a lot of things. But with that fourth track that we just played, I was thinking of a few other like DSBM bands that I was hearing around this time, maybe like a year or two later, say 2009, 2010. Kind of reminded me of the demo from Thy Light. They do a lot of that. Do you remember that band, Thy Light?
Mm-hmm.
They had a demo called Suicide Depression, but it's all one word. Yeah, so they were doing that, and they do a lot of the stuff they do here on this song, where it's kind of the held chord individual plucking. That's almost like something Graham Belisle's Key would do too. But on that like first song off the not the first song, but that song off of the first Graham Belisle's Key album where it's like boom dong ding boom dong ding boom dong ding boom dong ding dong dong ding dong brain dong dong, and then I think it goes into like that Merciful Fate kind of riff. But yeah, it's something like that, and I feel like Die Light. I was listening to them today actually just to get a clearer understanding of like DSBM that was coming around in like 2007, 2008. Yeah, so I heard a bit of that. Some of the other things that, because it's like almost post-black moments like that. I was listening to a little bit of the Austere record, which was also 2007, and Cold World too, which kind of have that slow like droning thing. This band kind of picks it up a little bit, but they do have hints of what DSBM kind of would become maybe in like a year or two after this, right? It's because I think this band even calls themselves depressive black metal. Like I looked at their Facebook page, they say depressive black metal. It's maybe a bit different than what you would expect, but
Yeah, it
there's
seems like
still some of that in there.
It seems like the most depressive that they get is on the instrumental tracks. And
I felt like it was this song that they.
Well, yeah,
they
I was
got
gonna
most,
say this one too. But yeah, this one's probably the most DSBM, but I think it just comes along with the territory of being in a slower tempo. Like the instrumentals definitely will show that, and I think Fred, you picked that because it showcased the riffs a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you can play with me. I think even on Metal Archives, it's like they have the the tabs. What was it, 99 or 911 tabs? So you can play along with them.
No, that's it does remind me a lot of other DSBM bands, but not in a bad way. Like some of them are kind of shitty about it, but these guys aren't. The ones that I jotted down, aside from Hypothermia, you guys heard Veil from the US?
Mm-mm.
I know him from you. You showed us that demo before. I think it was a while
that's
ago.
Terrific demo. And German band Anti, the
Oh,
Insignificance
yeah,
of
yeah.
Life.
I was actually coming back to that a little bit. I really didn't hear that much stuff that I can compare it to, like on the Anti. Like I said, I compared it mostly to like Thy Light, Austere, Cold World is what I was thinking, especially for this song. This wasn't your pick either, right, Fred? This was Paul's, right?
Yes, mine
Oh,
is
okay.
Ball.
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 All right, so we're gonna go back a track.
Yeah, now we're all.
Yeah.
See what I mean, Fred?
I don't. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. Fuck out.
All right, we'll be back. I'm a braid Fred. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
Fine.
What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say it did remind me of another Japanese band, Gnome.
Was Gnome like this? I don't remember Gnome exactly
I
what they
think-
sounded like.
I think it's mostly the vocals that made me think of it because they're not really too depressive. But
That's an awesome fucking band photo. For
What,
Gnome.
for Gnome?
It's
Yeah,
like those,
I
it's like those Japanese paintings where it's like a huge landscape and then it's like a little person on there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think right before we started this show, me and Fred were just like talking, like, do you know this band? Do you know that band? Do you know this band? And I think I brought up Gnome, and we were talking about Gnome for like a minute.
yeah, no, we're great.
Yeah, because I remember Gnome and that other band that's like Gorgoroth, but it's not Gorgoroth. It's like Goruroth or something.
Gorgoth, yeah, and
Yeah.
their other persona, Golgoth, awesome. They're both great.
All right, yeah, I feel like I want to check out some more Japanese black metal now that we're like kind of talking about it a little bit.
Check out Sork. Sork is great.
Sork with a K.
Cross spelled backwards. It's stupid, but go with it. SSORC.
Okay. These guys look pretty cool.
Yeah, they're great. They're
2005.
kind of regular, like fast-paced, blasting black metal, but they pull it off really well.
All right. Yeah, so this band is pre-funeral LG. You guys saw that, right?
Yeah, I didn't
Hmm.
get a chance to listen to it. I know I said I was going to, but
Well, you're not missing much because most of the songs off Funeral LG, it's the same guy. It's Hakuja, and it's mostly the same songs. It's basically like demo versions of this demo,
Oh,
but with a full band. This is just him, and the other band has a full band. They have a lady on drums, and I was looking at
I
I was looking at
wonder how that sounds with the live drums. Any
oh,
different?
it's well, I was watching some live videos, and the guy from Hipster Black Metal was into it. So
Uh-oh.
I see him every once in a while in the comment
wild,
section.
yeah.
No, but it's cool. He's like, somebody said this vocalist needs to quit his day job. It almost reminds me of the way, if we're talking about Total Vernichtone again, when he was doing Angel Cunt live, the vocals almost sound like, I don't know, like his voice is torn apart and he can't actually yell. It sounds interesting. Yeah, but I thought it was cool. They still have the sprawling bass even with the even with the other band member. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. I don't know why he kind of went on his own to do more songs and then never really did anything after that. But
Well, it's funny because like he
a
released
couple of these
like,
are new.
a song like
on a
this
split
last year,
right? Yeah.
but honestly it wasn't anything like the demo, or it couldn't touch the demo. But yeah, maybe we should just go listen to the instrumental track.
Hell yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. nap.
That nap, homie.
Damn it, Paul.
That one ruled.
Yeah, I did because it was my pick. Um, no, I like this one. It's kind of just it kind of feels like a journey, like
Yeah,
a
it's
trip
like a good hiking
onto
song.
itself. Yeah, it's not. It's a little overcast, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, this was actually the one I meant to say sounded like Ball Mum. Not the second track. Oh.
But the beginning to that is one of the parts that really made me think more along the lines of hypothermia. But as the song goes, it kind of goes back to that, again, that French sound, early Alsace, Celestia, Mortifera, even kind of a little bit of the Black Legion stuff, but not as malevolent, kind of a bit more bemused resignation more than anything.
Yeah, in the last minute of that song, we kind of talked about that this is, or I said that it could be like goth rock influences, probably from Bauhaus, and then possibly going into like Peter Murphy.
Yeah, I know
Cussing
saying
you
kind of
up
reminds
and
me of
whatnot.
Forgotten Woods.
Yeah,
Joyless
totally.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, because Forgotten Woods, to me, they sounded more like the most simplistic that The Cure would do, and especially with that bass stuff too. Because I think if I'm not remembering correctly, but I think Forgotten Woods had a lot of intricate bass in it as well, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, like goth music, where that's sort of like the melodic voice for that, and a lot of DSBM too. Well, in this case, this instrumental, and you can hear that even in the fast-paced stuff too.
Yeah, one thing that Paul mentioned while we were listening to it that I thought was cool is that he said that like he could hear the vocal pattern to the song in his head, and I think it's true. The song is written in such a way that if there were vocals, you kind of know exactly where they would be, and it's cool. You're kind of expecting them to show up, and they don't, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I like that it's instrumental. Kind of gives you like a bit of a bridge between the early part of the album and the later part, but. Yeah, no, you could easily imagine vocals being in there and just kind of plays with their mind, thinking, what would it sound like with vocals, and just kind of.
It would
doing it
sound
yourself.
like the first Faust album. And it goes hey da 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 da.
But I just don't
That's-
understand like
Kind of
where-
reminded me of that a little.
with like the thought process of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this as an instrumental, because it's like it's not like anything really shining in a way that the vocals would take away from it, other than like maybe he didn't have the lyrics for that song, or he couldn't
Well,
think of any patterns because it was all
No,
right
no.
there in front of him.
I think that's the point. The third song is kind of similar. It also has a DSBM vibe, but it's the song with vocals. I feel like something like this can strengthen be strengthened by an instrumental track. Like I said, Balmung did shit like this that are instrumental. We even did a track like this, and I was like, nope, we're doing an instrumental just because it's just one of those tracks. It's one of those tracks that kind of moves on its own, and it could have vocals, but it even especially with a demo like this where most of it is samey, why not have a instrumental track? And I feel like it works here. It kind of continues the journey on. There's like a silent part. There's a part where there's no need for words really.
I think it's kind of cool that it continues to convey the same
Yeah.
feeling and
Yeah, I
emotion
think it's
as
cool,
the rest
too.
of the demo without
Yeah.
having those vocals in there. And
Well,
it
even
kind of reminds
the-
me of, remember, I mean, obviously you remember, but Zaster, before they went like country goth, whatever the hell they are now.
I actually never heard any of the country goth stuff, so I only know the DSBM's ass or what is it, the Mirrors song, Citadel of Mirrors or something like that. Prism of Mirrors.
Yeah,
Some shit like that.
A gate through bloodstained mirrors.
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah,
I remember that stuff.
something.
Well, the one of my favorite Zaster recordings is they're half of a split with Nort, and those 3 tracks are either completely instrumental or the vocals are so buried that I can never hear them. I'm pretty sure they're just instrumental, and they're fantastic. They're just great songs. They don't need vocals. They just tell a journey all on their own, and that's hard to do, I think. So
Yeah, it seems like black metal from this era, from the mid 2000s era, kind of had a voice on its own, rather than trying to be a fucking riff mania or like a heavy metal kind of like aftermath or precursor or something. It kind of had it has a voice of its own where like it's moving away from metal, in general, like Hakuja, like how we just talked about with this song in particular. And I think a lot of them, it's like it has more to do with like goth music or dark wave or something. Like if maybe some of the people out there might know this. There's a song. If anybody's a Wang fan, you guys know who Wang is? Justin Wang, that Chinese guy who does YouTube channels about like internet stories and mysteries and things.
No, I truly do not know who that is.
Mostly what he covers is something called Tales from the Internet, where he'll talk about like things like Mr. Hands, where the guy gets fucked by a horse and he dies, or One Guy, One Jar, where he fucking crushes a jar in his ass. It's like bleeding everywhere. And things like One Girl, One Cup, things like that. Tales from the Internet. You get all these fucked up stories. But he also does
I think it was 2 girls.
2 girl, 1 cup, something like that. He had one. It was called
Get
the
facts
most.
straight here.
Yeah, it was one called The Most Mysterious Song on the Internet. And if you look that up, you can find this song, and it's actually kind of similar to what's going on here. And it really is. It really is. It's a mid-pace like goth rock song, but it's got like tinges of what black metal would be later. I think the song is probably from the 80s, but it's got a lot of what we know is like black metal chording now. I think I don't think they ever found out what this song was. Apparently somebody found where it was played. It was like a German college radio station, and they found the guy who ran the radio station, found his Facebook, and messaged him about 10 years ago and never got a reply back. So we'll probably never know who the most mysterious song on the internet is by, but it's a great song, and it does kind of reflect this a bit too. Not saying these guys ever heard it, maybe they did, who knows, but something like Bauhaus, something like fucking Peter what's his name? Now I'm forgetting his name.
Steele.
No, not Peter Steele. Peter Murphy. Peter Murphy cuts you up and things. And even like something like Christian Death, I feel like this may have something to do with like Christian Death, like Romeo's Distress or whatever.
Yeah, no, definitely those influences. Sisters of Mercy, Fields of the Nephilim, they're all in there.
Somewhere. Oh yeah. And we kind of talked about like who this band was prior. And then I guess what happened is the rest of the members besides Hakuja, they went on to do Infernal Necromancy. And Fred actually showed that to me probably sometime last year, and I wasn't aware of who Infernal Necromancy was. How would you describe them? I would probably describe them as like, it just in a simple way, I would say like a basic rhythm and lead kind of black metal band, very melodic, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was gonna go too, and like I don't mean it in a bad way, but they're kind of just straight up black metal. Like there's
there's a rhythm, it's pretty simple, and there's a lead, and that's pretty simple too. But I wouldn't say it's a bad band. They're actually pretty cool.
No, they're great. I love them.
Yeah, some cool shit about them.
But they're just not.
Yeah, I think
they're black metal. Like I wouldn't call them depressive. I wouldn't call them pagan. I wouldn't call them epic. I would just call them straight fucking black metal.
Well, compared to Hakuja, would you call Hakuja a depressive black metal band? Because I mean, honestly, if the tag wasn't there, I probably wouldn't have. I would probably just say like, oh, this is influenced by French and Finnish black metal, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the French bands that I'm referring to, they're melancholic for sure, but I wouldn't.
Well,
call
like
them
Celestia,
depressive.
you mean, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like they're.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call them depressive, but they definitely have like a strong air of melancholy. When I
Well,
think
that's more of the
DSPM, I think-
vampires. That's more of the vampire stuff. Especially, it's like a cave full of bats. It's like that's definitely vampiric, anyways.
Like when I think of DSPM, I really think more along the lines of
Kill yourself.
like like stuff like that. Some of the really like
Yeah, this is like the
a lot of them are cringier than they should
Make
be,
a change,
but, like,
kill yourself.
yeah. This
But I'm gonna plug it again though. Like one of the best DSPM recordings I've ever heard is Dolor by Vale. It's just incredible. What a good demo.
I was gonna say like this is like, you know, you've been on a binge where you're not cleaning up after yourself, and you know you're not brushing your teeth in the morning, you're not getting up, going doing things, but it's like, okay, you know, this is a little too much. Let me start taking care of myself a bit. This is what this album kind of gives.
This is the uplifting.
Let me leave a legacy.
This is the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, on that note, let's go with the most upbeat song on the album. It's pretty much tied with the first one. This is your pick, Dan. Dew of Blood, and I had asked these guys. I was like, okay, what's your picks? Because if no one picked that song,
I know you would want to pick, because that's like the OG one that I think we both heard
Yeah,
a long time ago.
That's a banger.
Yeah, that's the banger.
So yeah, let's bang. just did a bang bang.
Yeah, bang bang.
Got back from listening to Dew of Blood, the banger track. You hear Daniel still squeaking.
Yeah, squeaking in my chair. I was stomping my feet and like I kind of spilled water on the floor, so I'm like, you hear that? So I'm like stomping it. I'm like stomping in a puddle. Yeah, stomp my feet, playing the air drums to that song. Every time I hear a D beat with like those kind of heroic riffs, I
think
just can't help but play the air drums. It's the polka beat. You know, I feel like I've brought up the band Nat Fogg a bunch of times, but I don't think you guys have ever heard them. Listen, you guys got to check out the Nat Fogg demo. It's fucking really excellent Finnish black metal. It kind of reminds me of this a little bit. I guess something else that this reminds me of. I didn't think of this earlier, but one of my favorite NSBM songs, or really one of the songs that I like from Aryan Blood. I'm not a huge.
Crap, man?
Well, sometimes if it's good. You know, Fred was just talking about that band Veil. And I looked them up. They're one of their lyrical themes, Aryanism, and I just remembered who Veil was and why I know who they are. They were on one of the damn satanic skinhead propaganda promos. Maybe Fred knows that or no.
I don't think I ever heard their promos or like the compilation promos sort of deal. So
Yeah. So, Paul, you know what that is, right? The satanic skinhead propaganda.
Yeah.
The Antichrist Kramer's label.
On the drum set. The sticker.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we have a sticker of that right on the kit. Yeah, on that fucking on that comp, they have Veil, they have Ouroboros, they have Black Witchery, they have I think they have Pseudo God, they have Marshall. We've talked about Marshall before. They got all the all the.
Comp.
It's honestly a pretty good comp. There's war metal, there's depressive black metal, there's death metal. There's guy was into everything cool, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, one of the NS songs that I like that this reminded me of, because I guess you can't really get away from NS black metal with a sound like this, right? I feel like it always kind of comes back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul, you probably might agree with me, maybe yes, maybe no, but this reminds me of that Aryan Blood song, the Pride, Strength, Nobility. This is totally like that. Pride, Strength, Nobility is a little bit cooler, but this has that same vibe to it. And this even once again with our band taking influence from things like that. You remember that song we had? It was called "The Abyss of Mental Anguish" on the first demo.
Yeah.
There's like a cool video that we play it live, and like there's people falling on the floor, like they're falling in like puddles of beer and stuff at that skate park. But yeah, that song was actually influenced by Aryan Blood, and that's what this kind of reminds me of too. Yeah. Did you, or Paul, did you guys have anything else to say about this track here?
for me, it kind of I've been beating this into the ground, but brought me back to French bands again. Remind me of like earlier punkier bands like Nuit Noire, their early stuff before they went full punk.
I like the way you say that.
I'm French. What do you want?
No, I know, but it almost sounded like you had a stuffy nose for a second, just for like a millisecond.
Well, I do.
Fred,
too.
just speak Canadian, goddammit.
Yeah, it reminds me of that band Nuit Noire.
Well, that's the way gypsies talk. They go. They used to steal from my grandparents' shoe store. They did. I heard stories about it.
But no, this is a great song. That bass is dancing all over the fucking place. Like it will not stay still. It's great.
Beautiful bass.
Yeah, and it's not doing like
Wonderful
anything
bass.
like it's not doing anything crazy. It's just like
No,
doing these like
it's just,
melodic leads.
It's just
over-
nice. It's just nice as fuck.
It's just living its life,
It's just cute as fuck.
living its best life.
Dude, your dog's cute as fuck.
He's cute as fuck. Ugh. A man telling me my dog is cute as fuck. You know,
Growth.
Girls will tell me that at the goddamn drive-thru. They say, "Oh, he's cute." That's fine. I say, "Yeah, he is." But cute as
Facts.
fuck. What are you on? What kind of shit? You got me fucked up, homie. That's like this kind of lingo. This is like, you got me fucked up. It's cute as fuck, man. Fuck.
Depends on the dog. I mean, you seen my dog? He's cute as fuck.
Bird dead serious about that.
No, I mean, he is.
Oh, but like with this this track though,
This
one-
track, though.
This track.
this one and the first one were like what drew me into this because I was looking for like that upbeat sort of black metal, that heroic sounding stuff, and then it's like you get into the album, it's like so much different like avenues that it goes with this sort of with this sound of riffing.
Yeah.
It's just it's a fucking demo too. It's like
Yeah. But before I heard this and you described it to me, you're like, oh, there's like a couple Finnish Franco fucking bangers here, but then there's like slow stuff and there's some stuff that like kind of goes nowhere. Honestly, when you said that, it made me more interested in what was going to happen, and because there's something about like mid 2000s black metal that has, like I said before, has a very different vibe from a lot of other eras of what was going on in black metal. And I feel like there's still something that I can rediscover and also discover some new things about it. And yeah, I just think it's cool what this demo does.
yeah. I thought it was a good pick for some black metal, some not as ugly as you would think,
No, it's not ugly at all. And actually, like it doesn't exactly do what Finnish or French bands would do. It kind of does have something going on its own. I don't know if it's inherently Japanese, but this guy's riffing style, I feel like the riffs kind of end a little bit more abruptly than a Finnish or French band would have them do,
And this is like what's it called? Like what I hear from that, it's like the intervals between notes. Like that's what is distinctly Franco-Finnish for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like for this being a grid record, obviously being programmed drums and all that, like it's not so copy paste from what I'm hearing, because it sounds like he just has the red dot on and he's just going crazy on the bass, and
Yeah.
like that's like the main focus of this, like
Yeah, this is one of those cases where like this is usually where we would be critical and talk about, oh, this just has a couple repeating riffs and it's boring. But I somehow I feel like all the riffs really matter here, and that's part of the fact why I like the instrumental too, because it has enough of a different atmosphere each song that there's something discernible.
Yeah, I guess
from,
that would be
from each one.
I guess it would be a different story if it was like an instrumental of like the banger variety, like Do a Blood instrumental, but since it's
Yeah,
doing like that,
exactly. They're doing a Balmung type instrumental. They're not doing Dew of Blood, but
Yeah.
instrumental. Like that would not make sense.
yeah, it's pretty cool now that I think about it. It's like actually, doing a whole different, songwriting, variety from the rest of the album. And I think
Yeah.
even the last song is sort of like that, but it's a little bit more stretched out. And that one's interesting too. But I think
Yeah.
you picked the better of the two, Fred.
Yeah, there was a couple more examples I had of like just stuff that this reminded me of, and probably from around the same time. I think I showed you this before, Paul, and I know I showed it to you guys when we were visiting the death metal guy. It is a side project from the dude behind Total Vernic Tongue, and it was a project with only one song. It was called Profanation Squadron,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a song called Burning Synagogues. And what it sounds like is kind of a mixture of emotional, epic, depressive black metal, and also kind of like battle ready a type of black metal, again with a drum machine, because it's that guy.
Yep.
And it kind of moves in the same directions. It moves to the side, it goes up to the big high notes, and then back to the side. It almost goes like side to side up. That sounds stupid to say, but it's what it reminds me
Yeah,
of.
weird shape.
And Yeah, and there's one more thing, and I was hoping, Paul, we could do something special for this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you guys know what this is. Do you guys know a band called Permafrost
I think
from
you showed
Long
me
Beach,
it.
California?
Yeah, I
I
think
might
you
have
showed
showed
me
you
that.
it before. This is one that's like always stuck with me. Fred, do you know what that is? Permafrost from Long
I-
Beach. They're not
I
on Metal
think so.
Archives.
Oh, maybe not then.
Yeah, they are not on Metal Archives. I think
Wait,
this
is it even
song.
fucking metal, bro?
No,
just kidding.
it's metal. It's definitely metal. It's actually really cool. It's kind of got the same feel as this song, and it's got the same feel as a lot of the like Finnish Franco stuff, but it's coming from a time where like before this is really a popular thing. It's like 2007, coming out of Long Beach, California, and I believe it's just a one-man project again with a drum machine. But yeah, I'd like to play a sample of this on the show if we can, just like a minute and a half, because that's it repeats, and that's all we would really need.
Yeah, let's go listen to it right now.
Yeah, I think the people will like it, because I don't think a lot of people have heard this one, and it's really it's just fun.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're back from listening to that, and yeah, I can totally hear that.
It's kind of it's almost like pop punkish, isn't it? It almost sounds like
Dude, I was listening to that song that you played at Scratch. What was it?
Skyscraper
Yeah,
by
that's
Bad
what it
Religion.
sounded like.
Like a skyscraper.
Yeah, just that the D beat.
Yeah, there's something about the mix of pop punk and black metal. You get it a little bit with Hakuja, but you get it way more with Permafrost. But I think that's the thing I was kind of getting at, is that Permafrost comes out about the same time as Hakuja does, and this is really before a time that people are super into that sound, and I think that song kind of exemplifies like even an originality for it, even back then. Like, you don't really hear bands sounding anything like that. It's kind of got its own vibe going on, and it's really cool. I always thought that was a cool song.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of get the vibe from just, the minute and a half sample.
Yeah. You guys have any final thoughts for this?
Yeah, Fred, what did you think of Permafrost?
The minute and a half I heard of it sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it mostly does the same stuff, and then maybe there's like a riff or two. But I just wanted to get that's like the main vibe. That's like one of my favorite parts, is just like, yeah, that first minute and a half. And that always like stuck with me. It's just something that, never forget.
Yeah, no, it gets the job done.
Yeah, sure.
But for Hakuja, like I do enjoy this demo. For me, the instrumental really kind of makes it more of a journey to listen to, and I think finding the home for that release on Apparition Recordings couldn't have been a better fit. Like, they fit in perfectly with other bands on there, and yeah, it's a cool demo. Check out more of the French bands, because they have this similar kind of vibe to anyone who hasn't heard the ones we've mentioned throughout this episode.
I think a lot of people have heard Celestia, but maybe Veil people haven't heard. So check out Veil.
Yeah,
And
Veil
I
is
keep
awesome.
and I keep forgetting the name of the other band that's in French that you said. You're gonna have to send that one too, because I will never be able to remember or pronounce it or spell it.
Mortifera or Nuit Noire?
I think you sent it already. Mortiferum.
I sent Mortifera. I don't think I sent Nuit Noire. I can send you that.
Yeah, send Mima. Send Mima.
Mima.
Metal on metal.
How about you, Dan? What do you think of this?
Oh, I think it's great. I think I pretty much expressed everything I think about it.
Well, do it again.
Do it again.
No, just
Yeah, man. Mid 2000s black metal. I think there's some stuff to come back to, which is what we did here. All of us have come back to this. This is
the
not
fairy band,
the fairy band.
Nuit Noire.
Are they a fairy band? Oh, Newt Noir. Yeah, I know this. I know this guy. That's the guy that plays the drums by himself and the guitar.
Sure.
Fred just said it right.
No, that's Yeah, that's what he does. I've seen live videos of him. He's sitting on a drum kit with a double bass and a guitar, and that's it. That's what he's doing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's
But,
pretty good stuff.
Sorry about that. Go for it. You said mid 2000s black metal.
Yeah, yeah. And this stuff is like coming out at a time where that's really not a totally popular thing, and it's kind of different. The riffing style is a bit different. It has its own texture aside from the French and Finnish stuff. What's that, Fred? Fred said, "Hey."
I was giggling.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I guess check it out, dude. It's the entire record or the entire demo is solid. All of it. You know, it feels like it's doing the same thing, but every song kind of has its own atmosphere and its own texture to it. It's cool. I don't have anything bad to say about this.
Yeah. Well, for me, like, this is one I, just found at a record store, and I think I, looked it up on the spot and saw that it was, actually metal, and, like, just the cover that I have, it looks, kind of what you're gonna get. And, yeah, when I heard this and checked out some of the, like, faster-paced songs, that's what really drew me in, but, like, listening to this full album, and especially with Fred and you kind of reframing the instrumental track for me, it makes me like this even more. And yeah, I just thought that this would be a good introduction to what I sort of like in black metal, and I will pick something way uglier next time.
Yeah, and you'll get more black metal on the next one.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, we're out.
Time passes on.